way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports as we welcome you into a Tuesday, the 24th day of March for 2026, ready to go with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. The Nebraska baseball team is going to be in action tonight. They will play Kansas State down in Manhattan, playing the Wildcats for the second time this season. We'll talk about that coming up on the show here today. Jordy Fromm of Nebraska has been named the Big Ten Pitcher of the Week. Hastings College men's soccer team has a new head coach this morning. I'll tell you who he is. Creighton head men's basketball coach Greg McDermott has announced his retirement effective for the end of the season. Of course, the Jays getting ready to play in the college basketball crown out in Las Vegas. Greg McDermott going to be stepping down after his appearance out in that college basketball crown. Lincoln Standing Bear came to town yesterday, played Hastings High in baseball out at Duncan Field. We'll have the results of that coming up. And Dort will play Marion of Indiana tonight in the championship game of the NAIA Women's Basketball Tournament up in Sioux City. So all that and more coming up this morning. We'll have some comments from Fred Hoiberg, the head coach for the Nebraska men's basketball team, as the Huskers prepare to take on Iowa in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. That'll be Thursday night down in Houston. So that's what we'll be talking about here this morning. Of course, you can always chime in with us anytime you like. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line this morning. Leave us a message on our social media sites. We'll get to those as well. So off and rolling we go as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Yes, good morning here on a Tuesday. Kind of a weird sports doldrum right now as we wait to get going with MLB opening night coming up on Wednesday, and of course the resuming of the NCAA tournament coming up on Thursday. Obviously, we still got some high school ball, some Husker ball to kind of take care of the palate. But yeah, as far as like the big major sporting events, really just kind of a hurry up and wait mentality until we can get the first pitch for the season underway tomorrow. Tell you what, I want to start here. Greg McDermott for Creighton. I was really surprised. I'll be honest with you. He was never going to be a guy because of what he built at Creighton. He was never going to be a guy that was going to go on a hot seat. Like, it was going to be Greg McDermott's decision on whether or not Greg McDermott wanted to continue to coach. Mike, I was surprised that you would let this year be your swan song, this year be your final year, this year to go out. Creighton was miserable. They got a bunch of guys in the portal. They never gelled at any point in the season, and I just felt like he was going to give it one more year to try to make one more run at it. Shocked to say the least to see Greg hang it up.
Yeah, right after the show yesterday, shortly after, like all breaking news happens.
8:05.
Greg McDermott announces that he's going to retire at the end of the season. Jays 15-17 this year. They're going to. I didn't even know they were in the college basketball crown. That's how miserable the Creighton season has been. I didn't even know that they were in the college basketball crown or they're going to play in the college basketball crown, but evidently they are. I don't know. They brought in Alan Huss last year as the coach in waiting.
Yep.
That was in April of 2025, so you knew there was already maybe some discussions that maybe this would be the last year for Greg McDermott. You don't bring in a coach in waiting and make him wait for 5, 6, 7 years to take over the program.
I don't know. It was a pretty good strategy for me. I loved being the guy in waiting for like 5 years in the running.
Yeah, he left High Point
Yep.
After leading High Point to the NCAA basketball tournament, he left there, came to Creighton as the coach in waiting since April of 2025. And now Greg McDermott pulls the handle, so to speak. I'm going to retire. I'm going to the golf course, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life and not worry about basketball. I don't know. If you're writing your biography, you always want to go out on top?
Yeah, or at least on your, like, a positive term, right? You don't want to go with the sub 500 record and a trip to the college basketball crown. I mean, even though that worked out really well for Nebraska, and you see what it did to our program since, and maybe that's kind of his mentality is, let's give Huss a run in this thing and see what he can do. But I don't know. I just figured he would give it one more chance to get to the dance.
We've got
and I felt like he kind of deserved it too.
We've got some Creighton faithful that's listening to this show on a daily basis. What are your thoughts? This will be a good day to maybe chime in with us here at the breakfast table. Your thoughts on Greg McDermott announcing his retirement yesterday after 16 years as the head coach at Creighton. He has spent 25 years as a head coach with stops also at Northern Iowa, at Iowa State, and then finishing things off at Creighton. I know we got some Creighton faithful in the lobby here this morning, so good chance to join us here at the breakfast table, 402-834-1330. Your thoughts on Greg McDermott stepping down as the head coach at Creighton. So
normally our Creighton faithful in the live lobby is a little more vocal. They've been pretty quiet this year.
Yeah, we haven't heard a whole lot about Creighton basketball.
And haven't needed to. They 15 and 17 kind of speaks for itself.
Same way, Alan Huss is going to take over there. Also, speaking of coaches, the Hastings College men's soccer team has a new head coach this morning. McAmos Mike Pay will come to Hastings after coaching at Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa since 2019. Beginning as the associate head coach there before taking over as head coach in 2020. He began his coaching career as an assistant coach at Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas. So the Hastings College men's soccer team has a new head coach this morning, and McAmos Mike Pay coming to us from Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa. So welcome to Bronco land. The Nebraska baseball team, they're in action tonight. They're playing down in Manhattan, Kansas against Kansas State. We already played Kansas State once this year. Mm-hmm. That was in the college baseball series in Arlington, Texas, way back at the beginning of the season. Cats are having a good year. They're 17-7. Nebraska 18-6. They'll play tonight at 6 down in Manhattan, Kansas. So it's a good midweek game, Nebraska and Kansas State tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a traditional non-conference game for Nebraska when you get midweek and you got a team that close in proximity that you can drive down and go square off against. And, yeah, you look at the teams and they kind of match up similar, so it'll give us a good opportunity to pick up some points for the resume as we continue to move forward. I'm impressed with this baseball team. Winning in series and really, when you take a look at the offense, has just been exceeding expectations, I guess I could say. Traditionally, it has been the arms that have started out really strong for Nebraska. The offense is kind of slow to get going, slow to pick up, and then about Big Ten Conference tournament time, all of a sudden they find it and get going. They've had the bats going earlier this year, and it's fun to see it when it's 1 through 9 just all doing their job, right? Like leadoff setting the table, being aggressive, the meteor order, driving the ball around the yard, putting it in the gaps, putting it in the bleachers, and then just a complete reset. Bottom of the order sets the table for the top, and I've seen this offense when it's humming. It's a tough out, and so yeah, I'm optimistic where we're at. Obviously, non-conference game. You want to pick those babies up. They are I have a love-hate relationship with the midweek non-con games. They're great to keep fresh, but you're going through a lot of arms. Generally, they are just kind of a bullpen day for you to get some extra work in from the pitching standpoint, and they can really kind of derail you. If you let these midweek games trip you up, it can squash momentum going into a weekend series. So yeah, you hope you go down to Manhattan and you play some pretty strong baseball, and you're ready for another weekend for Big Red.
NAIA women's basketball tournament heading into the final stage tonight. They'll play their national championship game up at the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. Of course, Hastings College eliminated last week, but Dordt and Marion of Indiana is going to be playing in the national championship game. Dordt is the two-time defending national champs, so they've been here before. And the Marion of Indiana, they are kind of one of the mainstays of the national tournament. They've been around the national tournament scene as well. So a good matchup tonight on the women's side for the NAIA national championship this evening. The defenders took care of Dakota State in the semifinals last night, winning up in Sioux City 83-69. Marion beat Dakota Wesleyan 62-54. So we had a chance to have an all GPAC final, but Dakota Wesleyan loses to Marion last night 62-54. The national championship game is set for 7 tonight at the Tyson Event Center. So those are some of the news and notes from around the local scene. Nationally, like Tyson mentioned, not a lot going on yesterday, but Jackson Smith, Njigba.
Njigba?
Njigba?
Njigba. Njigba.
Njigba?
Njigba.
Jackson Smith and Njigba?
Yep. Nailed it.
The reigning NFL Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Has reached an agreement with the Seattle Seahawks on, get this, a 4-year, $168.6 million extension. Makes him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. The deal averages $42.15 million per year. It includes over $120 million in guaranteed money, both setting records for a wide receiver. With this new agreement, the two-time Pro Bowler is contractually tied to Seattle now through the 2031 season. The Seahawks already exercised his fifth-year option for 2027, worth approximately $23.9 million. They did that last week. This guy's 24 years old, set career highs in receptions and receiving yards, in touchdown receptions last year, en route to being named a first-team All-Pro in 2025 in 3 postseason games last year. He had 17 catches for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Jackson Smith, Njigba, obviously I didn't have him on my fantasy football league this year.
You'll get there.
Well, I didn't have him on my fantasy football team because this guy... He's a breaker. Yeah, he's a breaker. He had touchdown receptions. My fantasy football players didn't have touchdown receptions.
Oh, yeah, you can't have that.
So anyway, he's a happy character today.
Oh, as he should be. I mean, and you look at reasons why Kenneth Walker was shipped to Kansas City. Seattle was not going to be able to pay all the guys for that Super Bowl team, and that's one of those things about making those runs is then all of a sudden those guys get a Super Bowl trophy, and next thing you know they're going to need to be compensated for their ability to get to the Super Bowl, and you're not going to be able to keep everybody. So Walker goes to Kansas City. Speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs, I did see they made it official yesterday.
Travis's contract.
I think that was the most obvious thing that was going to happen. That was like breaking news that really wasn't breaking. We all knew he was going to sign, but and they made it official.
Signed yesterday.
Officially official. 3-year deal though. I don't think he plays all 3 years.
You never can tell.
I don't think he plays all 3 years.
I don't think so. They did that for a purpose.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm sure it was a money structure, taking the hit on the salary cap or something like that. So they give him a 3-year deal. Maybe you spread that over 3 years, and then magically they'll rework the deal, and you know how the Chiefs have been doing.
Their magic money, whoever their front office guy. Like again, whether it's front office or whether it's just some tech nerd with spreadsheets doing numbers that figures out how to make this all work. The Chiefs come up with it, and they figured out a system, and more power to them. They're playing chess when the rest of the front offices are playing checkers when it comes to restructuring contracts and getting those free agents to sign. I think maybe a page of the Belichick days in New England, how they were able to keep all those guys all those years that they were winning Super Bowls, or at least appearing in Super Bowls. They did some little Houdini contract restructuring stuff as well with Brady and the boys. So taking a page out of that playbook, but Kansas City got it done. And, the West is going to be wild this year. Like, I love what Kansas City has done in terms of bringing all the guys back, but also adding pieces and continuing to put little weapons in that arsenal for Mahomes and the offensive coordinator and Andy Reid to go work with. But then you look at Denver, and they've just continued to load up on the free agency. Again, the big wide receiver signing over the weekend. You look at what Vegas could potentially do if Vegas doesn't Vegas in the draft and screw it up. They're on a 2-year plan. LA is going to be doing just fine. The AL West is going to become the most competitive division in football. There's no doubt about it. I think the AFC East had the title between New England and Buffalo. The Jets and Dolphins never really got competitive with us, but there was always that arms race. At the AFC North with the Bengals, the Steelers, the Ravens in there, that had been probably the most competitive division in football. I think the AFC West is going to take it over. They are setting up an arms race.
All right, so that's the latest news out of the NFL. We had some high school baseball on the air last night. Lincoln Standing Bear beat Hastings High by a score of 15-3 out of Duncan Field. We had Blake Marquardt on last week. A little preview of the Tigers. He told us that Hastings High, after playing at 10 seniors a year ago for a majority of the time, we got some youngsters in the lineup, and it's going to take a while, I think, for the Hastings High arms to come along on the mound and the hitting to come along at the plate with some young guys in the lineup. And we took it on the chin yesterday to Lincoln Standing Bear 15-3. The Tigers had only 4 base hits in the game for the second straight game. They had 4 hits last week in their season opener against Norris. They had 4 hits against Lincoln Standing Bear, and Clayton Arnold had 2 of those for the Tigers. Dom Monty was the losing pitcher for Hastings High. He went 1 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 4 hits, walked 4, struck out 1. Walks were an issue for the Hastings High pitching staff yesterday. Nice thing about baseball is you get to be back on the diamond today. There are a lot of games in a short amount of time here. So Hastings High back on the field today. They will play York beginning at 4:30. We'll have the game again here on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame at 4:15 this afternoon. So Hastings High loses to Lincoln Standing Bear yesterday 15-3. Other action, Papillion La Vista South knocked off Kearney by the score of 10-8. We're going to see the Adams Central baseball team on Thursday. They're going to play St. Paul Palmer at Duncan Field beginning at 4:30. We'll have that game for you as well on Thursday. We've got 6 days straight. 6 days straight. Yeah, of local and college sports right here on Extreme Sports. It got started last night. It won't end until Saturday. So You want
Got you
local
covered.
sports. You want local sports. We've got you covered here on Extreme Sports. Like we said, we got Adams Central coming up on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And I just got the Class C baseball ratings from the Omaha World Herald out today.
Oh, rankings. Let's do it. I love rankings. Come on.
I know you love rankings.
Oh, these are my favorite part.
Especially early in the season, especially when they're
the early edition rankings. Let's go.
Well, after 1 week.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What do you got for me, Stu?
Central City Centura is ranked number 1 in Class C. West Point Guardian Angel Central Catholic number 2. Adams Central number 3. Followed by Elkhorn, Mount Michael, and Omaha Roncalli. They've got Lincoln Lutheran, Malcolm, Lincoln Christian, St. Paul Palmer, and Fort Calhoun. So on Thursday's game between Adams Central and St. Paul Palmer, matchup of 2 top 10 rated teams. I only brought the ratings up because both of those teams are in the top 10.
Sure.
And because Tim Stroman
and because we got sent the rankings.
Yeah, Tim Stroman is filling my text message board here this morning with all these official stats and stuff. He must be bored at his breakfast table.
No, they hit the hell out of the baseball this weekend.
389.
That's impressive.
35 hits, 34 runs scored, 8 doubles, 4 triples, 3 home runs, and 21 stolen bases.
Thought you were doing 12 Days of Christmas over there.
They had 21 stolen bases.
Oh my God!
In the first 3 games of the season,
they shattered school records last year.
Yeah, probably. We had Tim on last week as well, and we're going to have him on again tomorrow. But yeah, he wants to be more aggressive on the base pads. They set a school record in stolen bases a year ago, and he's got 21 after just 3 games. So, we'll have Tim Stroman on tomorrow on Huddle Up as he gets ready to play on Thursday. And again, that's the game we'll have for you on Extreme Sports on Thursday. So we've got Hastings High and York coming up tonight. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow we'll have Hastings College baseball. The Broncos playing a non-conference game with Nebraska Wesleyan. That'll be out at Duncan Field beginning at 6 on the air at 5:45 for the pregame. We'll have Adams Central for you on Thursday. And then we'll swing into Hastings College softball. You will have games on both Friday and Saturday. Friday, we've got Dordt coming to town for 2 out at the Smith. And Saturday, it'll be Waldorf in town for a Saturday afternoon game. So a full slate of high school and college sports this week on Extreme Sports.
Supposed to be windy as hell Saturday, too.
Really? Again?
Yeah. Another game at the Bill with winds. Let's see if I can pull it up here. It just says high winds. It doesn't give me like a reading on what they're supposed to be at this point.
What's the temperature going to be? That's a good indication.
65.
Okay.
65, but it's got the blustery symbol next to it.
But usually, if it's going to be like hot, you know they're going to be south winds and the wind will be blowing in.
Ooh, that's a good point.
If it's going to be really chilly, you know that's going to be a north wind and it'll be blowing out. And you could be there for like 6 hours.
Don't remind me.
Well, you could be.
It's a realistic possibility when you get into those home run derbies. I think the last couple times we played, the wind has been blowing in. And it turns into like this pitching and defense duel. And what was the last? I don't know if Baker's on the board or in the live lobby today. I think the last time we played this weekend, or in that weekend series, we had 2 games that were an hour 5.
That's the way to play.
I mean,
that's the way to play.
They were pitcher duels. They came down, and we were sitting with goose eggs going into the 5th, and you get a run, and it's like, okay, that's the ball game. But they turned into pitching and defense duels because the wind's blowing in, and even in that monsoon, we still were able to hit a home run, which I thought was the most impressive feat because that fence line has to be playing about 275 when the wind's blowing in like that. So, looking forward to seeing Baker and the gals and having a fun weekend of GPAC softball over at the Bill. But yeah, just had to check the weather forecast, and That's the first thing you look at. Oh, Hastings College must be in town because it's windy again this weekend.
What's the Friday forecast look like?
Decent, really decent.
Yeah,
I might go broadcast outside Friday.
Have a couple of doubleheaders out at the Smith Complex Friday and Saturday with Hastings College softball. So
can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we just sit on the party deck and broadcast a softball game when it's nice like that?
You can do that, yeah.
It gets stuffy up there.
I've done that a lot during state softball for high school.
I like it because I can hear.
Oh, yeah.
I can hear what's going on. When you're in the press box at the Bill Smith, it's a beautiful facility. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking the Bill Smith Softball Complex press box.
But
you can't hear anything.
Well, when they built that way back when, they weren't anticipating us broadcasting games from there.
Oh no, the softball was a growing sport, and there was no ever talk about it being on radio, and that
it was not built for us.
No, it wasn't.
And the reason I say that, you can see there, which is all right, but the windows don't open.
The windows don't open. Some
There's no way.
Some have a view of a ventilation shaft that's right in the middle.
The air conditioning unit?
I think that's Field 3, isn't it? If you're on the right-hand side at Field 3, you stare straight into the AC.
You don't want to be there.
But we might take Friday and go on the second deck because it's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah, that's what's coming up this weekend. So a full slate of games here on Extreme Sports. High school baseball tonight, college baseball tomorrow, high school baseball Thursday, and then Hastings College softball for both Friday and Saturday. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. And if you'd like to chime in with us, you can. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, you can. The Chief is already chiming in. His thoughts on Travis Kelce, when he's going to announce his retirement. He says when Taylor tells him it's okay to do so.
That would be the answer, I think, from any husband. Honey, is it okay if I retire now?
You think Taylor had a big influence on Travis coming back this year?
I think she enjoys football. I think she's become a fan, like a legitimate fan of football. And I think that she's wanting to watch more Chiefs games and go watch him play. And, as long as they're going to go to the game, they might as well get paid to go to it. So enter in Travis Kelce's 3-year deal. But I think she's actually turned into a football fan.
I agree. I think before she was just there because she had to be there.
Yep, I agree.
And now I think she's a fan. I'm with you.
She's into it.
Well, she's always in the party suite. I know that.
Yeah.
Looked like they were having a good time up in the party suite every time they show her on TV.
And it looks like she's cheering at cheering at appropriate times.
Maybe understanding the game a little more now.
I think I saw her do Surrender Cobra at one point this season when the Chiefs lost in the last minute. She did the whole Surrender Cobra. So I think she's getting it. So speaking of the Chief, this Chiefs challenge for the Sweet 16. I don't know if we need to revamp.
Not a very good idea.
I don't know if we need to revamp or use spreads, but to find 5 dogs, I've got 2 of them, and I've got 2 dogs locked, like going to win right out. But I'm almost considering if we should go, if we're gonna have to take 5 dogs, we take them on the spread. Because I don't have 5 winners. I don't have 5 underdogs winning this weekend, and I can't sit here and put my money where my mouth is and tell you to go run up to the Grand Island Casino and place a bet on 5 dogs. They're not there. And there might very well be 5 upsets, but I don't feel confident about more than 2 of them.
Yeah,
so
we talked about an upset being a lower seed.
Right.
Beating a upper seed.
Yep.
Well, there's not that many matchups that we can go to where that's going to work this week.
No. I took a gander, and I was like 5-0. Ooh, no, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Oh, I might be able to do that one. And I turn over to Friday, and I'm like, ooh, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. Might be able to do that one. I had 2.
We could go against the spread.
We could go against the spread. We'll go. And do you just want to go? Do you just want to go five straight up picks, old Blazing 5 style?
Let's go old Blazing 5 style.
Favorites, underdogs. You just pick 5 games against the spread.
Yep, let's go 5 games against the spread.
We have 8 options. 8 options. 5 games.
That'll work.
I feel more confident about that.
It's our contest. We can do anything we want. Yeah, we can do anything we want.
Show.
So, Chief is in the lobby. So, Chief, we're going to revise the rules this week. We're going to go against the spread on our Chiefs challenge. Hell, it's his contest, and we're changing his rules.
We're changing the rule. Yes, we can use the spread. I'm good with that, Chief says. Yeah, old Blazing 5 style. We have 8 games to pick from. We're taking 5 against the spread.
All right, that'll be Thursday.
You don't have to pick 5 dogs. You can pick 5 whoever the hell you want.
That'll be Thursday morning.
Thursday. Yep.
As far as our bracket challenge is concerned.
Dang it. I'm leaving the lobby.
You brought it up. You brought it up. Our bracket challenge is being led by a 10-year-old.
I got so much shit for that yesterday going around town.
Yeah, 10-year-olds leading our.
Remember the old Jeff Foxworthy game show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I was rolling around at Russ's yesterday. I think I had 3 people that asked me that. Hey, you smarter than a 10-year-old? No, sir, I'm not.
No, we're not even close.
I just want to get my popsicles and get the hell out of the grocery store.
Well, if Riken wins the bracket challenge, he's going to get a big old 5-piece cooler set to maybe put his popsicles in. I was imagining you put a whole case full of beer in that 5-piece cooler set. Hell, if Riken wins, he's going to put his water and his popsicles.
Juice.
In our 5-piece cooler set.
Oh.
So anyway, he's got a
we suck.
God, he's got a lead of 10 points over his mom. His dad's 20 points back in our bracket challenge.
I'll stand by it. I am optimistic about my 130th place bracket. I'm optimistic moving forward that it does well. Again, 7 of 8 in the Elite 8, 4 of 4 in the Final Four, 2 of 2 in the championship. My champion's still alive. That's a good path forward to make up a lot of ground, and we're going to need to make up a lot of ground, but we have an opportunity to do that this weekend. So I'm not cutting mine up to shreds just yet, even though I'm getting beat by a 10-year-old.
I'm just checking out Riken's bracket here this morning.
What's his path to least resistance?
He's got in the Elite 8, he's got Duke still alive.
Uh-huh.
He's still got Michigan State.
Uh-huh. Same.
He's got Illinois.
Ooh, same.
He's got Florida, which is not in. On that. He's got Arizona.
Yep, same.
He's got Purdue.
Nope.
He's got Michigan.
Nope.
And he's got Iowa State.
Yep. God dang. He's got more teams than I do.
That's why he's the leader.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, then when he's got Duke and Purdue in the championship.
Ooh, that's risky. I got Duke and Zona. So there you go. That's where I'm going to make up some ground on this 10-year-old. Go Arizona.
God, that's the bracket challenge. Yeah, we're getting beat by a 10-year-old.
Who still has a lot of good options with this bracket remaining. Awesome.
I think you were tied for 130th.
Yep.
And I was tied for like 13th or something. So anyway, the bracket challenge rolls on. We don't have anybody still eligible for the $10,000. Nobody's going to win 60 games or more in our bracket challenge, so nobody's eligible for the $10,000 grand prize giveaway. But we got prizes for the top 4 guys that are going to be in a bracket challenge for the finals. We got some cash. We got some cooler sets we're going to be giving away. Gift cards from Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill, Miscues, also a District 14 beer and pizza. We got 4 clubhouse tickets to Bonner Park in Grand Island for April 18th. That's a Saturday. It's been sold out on Saturdays, but we got 4 tickets for you for the tickets to the Bonner Park on April the 18th. Courtesy of Crane Gardens up in Grand Island. We've got some wine to give away. We got a portable grill and smoker we're going to be giving away. So all that and more when we award the prizes at the end of this contest.
Speaking of Bonner Park, you brought up Bonner Park. If we have that $10,000 that's just chilling, that's not going to get awarded, you want to spend it on a horse?
Like actually go out and buy a horse?
Right, like Jim Schleicher did it, and now I'm kind of curious.
What the hell would we do with a racehorse?
Race it, obviously.
Do we know anything about horse racing?
That's why you hire a trainer and no, we're the owners. That's why you hire a trainer.
There goes our $10,000.
Shit.
We're not going to know. That bad idea. That's a bad idea. You and I are not investing in a racehorse.
I'll bring it up next time we have a couple more Coors Lights. See if that changes.
I get it. I bet it gets voted down in our staff. Hell, we couldn't even get a bowling team.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we wanted to all get in a bowling team. We got voted down on that.
Just play men's D-League bowling. Yep.
We bring up the idea of buying a racehorse. That ain't going to work.
I just like advertising, obviously.
No, not a good idea.
Extremesports.com. That's a great. Can you imagine the trackside announcer? Here comes Extremesports.com coming down the stretch. He's in dead last, and he finally finishes the race.
That's not a good idea.
That's a
7:37. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
What's it, 7:37?
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Our focus will be on education this morning, starting off at Central Community College. The Entrepreneurship Center was recently named as the SourceLink Nebraska Resource Partner of the Year. A presentation made earlier this month at the Nebraska Business Development Center's 2025 Business Awards ceremony at the Nebraska Capitol. Nebraska Lieutenant Governor Joe Kelly attended the ceremony, which honors entrepreneurs and businesses that are strengthening communities and expanding economic opportunity across the state. 2 other organizations and 2 individuals also received awards. Meanwhile, the Hastings College juried all-student art show is on view until April 2nd at the Jackson Dinsdale Art Center Gallery. Each year, the Department of Visual Arts invites all students to submit their artwork for consideration in the juried all-student art show. For this year's exhibit, Hastings College students entered 106 pieces, 40 of which, by 29 students, were selected for a competitive show. The JDAC galleries are open from 9 a.m. through 5 on Monday through Friday, and noon to 3 on Saturdays. The gallery and reception free and open to the public. It is 7:39. Let's head over to the East Side Studios, where Mike doesn't want a horse, but maybe he wants to read sports. Good morning.
It's a lot easier doing this. The Nebraska baseball team will play at Kansas State tonight. The Huskers 18-6 in the season. The Cats are 17-7. Kansas State beat Nebraska 5-3 earlier this year in the college baseball series in Arlington, Texas. First pitch will be at 6. Jordy Fromm of Nebraska has been named the Big Ten Pitcher of the Week. Fromm went 1-0 with a save in the Huskers' sweep of Michigan State last weekend. She threw 10 innings and struck out 15 batters and walked only 1. She allowed 4 hits and no runs. Hastings College men's soccer team has a new head coach. McCamo's Mike Pay comes to Hastings after coaching at Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa since 2019. beginning as the associate head coach before taking over as head coach in 2020. He began his coaching career as an assistant at Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas. Creighton head men's basketball coach Greg McDermott has announced his retirement effective at the end of the season. McDermott has won 365 games with the Jays over the past 16 years. He has a career coaching record of 514 and 319 over 25 years while serving as a head coach at Northern Iowa, Iowa State, and Creighton. The Jays are 15 and 17 and will finish their year in the college basketball crown in Las Vegas. Alan Huss will take over the Jays program after being the coach in waiting since April of 2025. Huss stepped down as the head coach of High Point after leading them to the NCAA tournament. Lincoln Standing Bear beat the Hastings High baseball team 15-3 yesterday out at Duncan Field. Dom Monte was the losing pitcher. He went 1 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs and 4 hits. He walked 4, struck out 1. Clayton Arnold had 2 hits for the Tigers. Hastings is now 0-2 on the season and will play host to York today beginning at 4:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame show at 4:15 this afternoon. Other action, Papillion La Vista South beat Kearney yesterday by a score of 10-8. That's a check on sports, 7:41 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Temperatures once again on Tuesday warm right back up into the low 70s. It'll be a little breezy. We'll have south-southeast winds at about 25 mile per hour for gusts and plenty of sunshine. Overnight tonight, we'll have a low of 48 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Then all the way up to close to 90 degrees on Wednesday, still plenty of sunshine. Wednesday night, mostly clear, a low of 56, and then 74 and breezy on Thursday. That's Check Your Forecast. Have a great day.
As you wake up, get going this morning. South winds at 7. It's cloudy. It's 33 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses. Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and Owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hi guys, this is Justin Conswork with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, see the professionals at North Shore Real Estate of Hastings. Real estate is one of the largest and most exciting investments you can make, and the folks at North Shore Real Estate are here to make sure the process is a fun and rewarding one. They serve Hastings, Harvard, Blue Hill, Kennesaw, and several other communities within a 35-mile radius of Hastings. They'll give you the guidance and support you need throughout the entire buying or selling experience. Give them a call at 402-461-6930 or stop in at 100 North Shore Drive in Hastings. North Shore Real Estate. Excellent agents, outstanding results.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Mike Wells, Tyson and Bronick with you. It's a huddle up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. And we've just added our fourth location that you'll be able to play trivia on site now and watch some of our local sports that we have on Extreme Sports. Miskew's Bar and Grill over by Duncan Field on Elm Street. We added a couple of screens in there, a couple of monitors now for Extreme Sports and their establishments. So you can stop in at Miskew's, grab yourself some lunch, grab yourself some dinner, and watch the excitement of Extreme Sports on the video monitors down there. And when we're not doing sports, you'll be able to play the trivia game. The other locations in the city, Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill, also the Tank in downtown Hastings, and District 14 Bar and Pizza out in West Hastings. So 4 different locations now. We've got some more locations we'll be expanding to here in the very near future. We'll tell you about that coming up. Basketball continues on Thursday. Nebraska and Iowa meeting for the third time this season. The Hawkeyes, they won during the regular season and the game played in Iowa City. The Huskers won in Lincoln. Fred Hoiberg met us yesterday in Lincoln to kind of talk about the game on Thursday. He says, obviously, Iowa is a dangerous basketball team.
Their pressure, the way they guard defensively, they put you in really difficult positions offensively, with the way they move the ball, and Sturts being one of the most dangerous players in the country, the way Koch is shooting the ball, 56%, 18 to 32 in his last 5 games. And, Banks was terrific last night, all their guys. Combs obviously had a big game against us in our place on senior night. So, it's 2 teams, I think, that are playing good basketball right now and should be an exciting game on Thursday night.
And Fred says the Hawkeyes really haven't changed too much since they played them last.
No, I don't think so. They've added some more wrinkles. They're running a couple new sets in their offense, and listen. You get more offensive rebounds in Florida. That is impressive. They out rebound Clemson by 15, and what they did last night on the glass was just absolutely incredible with that team, with what Florida does with their size and physicality. So again, they're playing the best basketball they have all year, and we're gonna have to play our best game of the season.
And Fred says that Iowa's got a lot of weapons to be concerned about.
It's hard when you have a guy like Sturts that just has such great control of the game, and and you can put the ball in Combs' hand as well. I mean, they did that last night, and I thought he made some really good plays for them. And then you get Sturts off the ball, and he's so dangerous from that area. He's dangerous all over the floor. So, just the adjustments that they make, they're really, really good. And, their ability, they space it. They're shooting the heck out of the ball right now with what they're doing and what they got going. So, yes, it's, a lot of attention is on Sturts. It has to be, or he can go off for 40. But then you got to be on point with your rotations and your closeouts, when the other guys get it going.
All right, that's Fred Hoiberg again. A couple of comments as the Huskers prepare to head to Houston and play the Iowa Hawkeyes for the third time this season. This is a big game, obviously, the Sweet 16 of the NCAA basketball tournament. 6:30 starting time on the Thursday night. And I think I saw it's been settled down for TBS. TBS is the the network that'll be carrying the Huskers.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, remember we had it yesterday listed as...
It was multiple because they didn't know the network. I believe, TBS. I'm just going to double check that. Yes, correct. TBS.
Huskers, I think, still favored by 1.5, 2 points according to the Visa.
1.5.
How much?
1.5 right now.
1.5 right now.
Live look at the line. It's a huge game. And it's one of those where I said after the round of 64 victory over Troy that I was totally satisfied with any result that happens from this point forward. Yeah, everything now is gravy. Everything now is just cherry and icing on what has been a cake. And then we draw Iowa in the Sweet 16. And now it's like, of all the teams that could spoil the party, of all the schools that could potentially put an end to what has been the most memorable basketball season of my life, just watching as a fan, I would hate for it to be Iowa. God dang.
I don't care that Florida would have beat us.
If Florida beat us by 30, I'd have been like, great ride, boys.
Yeah, that
great season.
The defending national champion say, well, our ride ended as we played the defending national champion in the Sweet 16.
Feels a little different when you say our ride ended by our most hated rival.
Yeah, Iowa beat us. So God, we got to win this game.
We got to win this game.
And then if it ends the next time, how many games left? We got two left.
So it would go to the Elite Eight, then Final Four, and then championship.
So we got 3 games left potentially. Anybody but Iowa.
Did you see the tweet?
Or win the national championship, one of the two.
Did you see the tweet from Busch Light, by the way? Busch Light beer?
I did not.
They said, Husker fans will be prepared. And they showed like a convoy of Busch Light pallets heading towards Houston to prepare. After Oklahoma City said they had the greatest weekend in their bar's histories. OKC hasn't had a Husker takeover like that. They haven't got to experience a full weekend of just Big Red. There are multiple bars that ran out of beer, Busch Light particularly, because OKC, just in listening to some of the local news stories, and I was watching some of the interviews and clips. These bar owners, they don't stock up on Busch Light. Busch Light's not popular in Oklahoma. It's definitely a Nebraska beer. And we went down there to get our corn beer, and they didn't have enough of it. So,
a lot of bars ran out of beer. We're talking about that. All the Husker fans down there drank everybody out of beer. We've got these 2 Schlitz and a Falstaff back here that we haven't. That's still been on our shelves for about 5. We'll take them. We'll drink them.
Better not be drinking out of that cup. Throw it out. It's got coffee in it, girl.
No, I mean...
it was the live lobby. Amber is thinking that there's alcohol in my cup.
No, I think that's losing to Iowa.
Oh.
So.
Okay, I was very confused. I'm like, no, trust me, it's coffee in here. I have school today.
I got one more comment from Fred. He kind of reflected on Greg McDermott stepping down as the head coach at Creighton. He just kind of reflects on Greg McDermott.
Greg is a friend. He's been a friend for a long time, even going back to days where I was in the front office with the Timberwolves. I would always go down and watch his practices and do scouting. I would go to Hilton and watch games in the Big 12 and really developed a relationship with him there. And we've been on coaches' trips. Carol and Teresa are really good friends. And, I've been on golf trips with Mac. And he's just as good a basketball coach as he is, he's a better person. And people see, the competitiveness and, how you want to go out there and win every battle. But at the end of the day, this is a small fraternity, this coaching profession. And to be able to have somebody like Mac who went through something with Doug, and, now I'm going through it with Sam. And, it's special, and you can talk about those things with him. I coached Doug with the Bulls. I loved coaching Doug. He was awesome. And, a lot of that is because of his upbringing with Greg and Teresa. But, certainly wish Mac all the best. I know he's going to be on that golf course a lot. I'm a little bit envious of him, to be honest with you. Hopefully I got a few more years in this business, but yeah, just really happy for him. And, I really wish he would have got that Final Four a couple years ago, that last one little play away from getting there. But he's had a hell of a career, and, I'm really happy for his retirement.
All right. Fred Hoiberg reflecting on Greg McDermott's announcement yesterday that he's stepping down, going to retire officially at the end of the season. Did you have an Iowa Cup at one point?
I have an Iowa coffee cup.
Get rid of it.
I drink out of it a lot, actually, on this show. Sometimes it's just like, pour salt a little bit.
You need to chuck that cup right now.
No, it's going to stay in the cupboard, though.
Don't use it. Don't use it the rest of the week.
This is actually...
You haven't used it recently, have you?
No. I've been drinking out of the
Big Red Cup.
The Tallgrass Tap House Cup.
Yeah.
That says it's probably beer, even though trust me, it's not. No, so the Iowa gift it's a gag gift. It's a family deal. I got an uncle over in Iowa City, actually Davenport, but big Iowa Hawkeye fan. And so every year for Christmas, just out of sheer spite for each other, we exchange Husker Hawkeye gifts.
Oh,
so that's why the coffee mug is in existence.
All right, 7:56, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Huddle up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Focusing on education this morning on the news cycle, Hastings College Juried All-Student Art Show is on view until April 2nd at the Jackson Dinsdale Art Center Gallery. Each year, the Department of Visual Arts invites all students to submit their artwork for consideration in the Juried All-Student Art Show. For this year's exhibit, Hastings College students entered 106 pieces. 40 pieces by 29 students were selected for competitive show. The JDAC galleries are open from 9 a.m. through 5 on Monday through Friday and noon to 3 on Saturday. And CCC's Entrepreneurship Center was recently named as the SourceLink Nebraska Resource Partner of the Year. The presentation made earlier this month at the Nebraska Business Development Center Award ceremony at the Capitol. Nebraska Lieutenant Governor Joe Kelly attended the ceremony, which honors entrepreneurs and businesses that are strengthening communities and expanding economic opportunity across the state. 2 other organizations and 2 other individuals also received awards. 7:57, back to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Nebraska baseball team on the diamond tonight. They'll play at Kansas State. First pitch will be at 6 down in Manhattan. Jody Fromm of Nebraska has been named the Big Ten Pitcher of the Week. She went 1-0 with a save in the Huskers sweep of Michigan State over the weekend. Hastings College men's soccer team has a new head coach today. McCamo's Mike Pay comes to Hastings after coaching at Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa since 2019, beginning as the associate head coach before taking over as the head coach in 2020. Creighton head men's basketball coach Greg McDermott has announced his retirement effective at the end of the season. He's won 365 games with the Jays over the past 16 years. And Lincoln Standing Bear beat the Hastings High baseball team 15-3 yesterday out of Duncan Field. Tigers are now 0-2 on the season. They will play host to York today beginning at 4:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports beginning with the pregame show at 4:15 this afternoon. And Dort will play Marion of Indiana tonight in the championship game at the NAIA Women's Basketball Tournament in Sioux City. Tip-off will be at 7 at the Tyson Event Center. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Temperatures once again on Tuesday warm right back up into the low 70s. It'll be a little breezy. We'll have south-southeast winds at about 25 mile per hour for gusts and plenty of sunshine. Overnight tonight, we'll have a low of 48 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Then all the way up to close to 90 degrees on Wednesday, still plenty of sunshine. Wednesday night, mostly clear, a low of 56, and then 74 and breezy on Thursday. That's Check Your Forecast. Have a great day.
South winds 7 miles per hour. Cloudy skies 33 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE certified technicians have the blue seal of excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Brewing at Elbow Bend, and somebody's about to get fleeced. This is Mick with Maleta Vista Winery announcing our mystery dinner tickets are now on sale for the Golden Fleecing Wild West Murder Mystery. So get your tickets at Maleta Vista Winery's events page. Come dressed as your best cowboy or saloon girl garb. Enjoy a great meal, a glass or two of hooch, and help solve the crime before the night's over. But watch your back, buddy. The outlaw might be sitting at your table. The Golden Fleecing Mystery Dinner at Maleta Vista Winery, March 28th, April 18th.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Vronic. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports on a Tuesday. Again, we'll have high school baseball coming your way later on today. 4:15 pregame, 4:30 for the first pitch. Hastings and York today here on Extreme Sports. So we invite you to join us for some high school baseball later on. Should be a much better day today. A little bit on the cool side yesterday for our game, but going to be warming up today, and then, God, 90s again tomorrow. I'm having a tough time.
With your thermostat?
With the thermostat and with my clothing attire.
Yep.
You know,
Same's.
I put the winter coat away. I got the winter vest out yesterday and kind of wore that to the game. Now today I'll be shedding that. And tomorrow it could be flip-flops and toes in the sand tomorrow with the highs in the 90s. Same thing with the thermostat.
Yep.
The furnace is on. The air conditioner's on. The furnace is on. The air conditioner's on.
So you did break this weekend when it got into the 90s and turned the AC on, right?
The AC was on.
I turned mine on, too. I thought the only hesitation I had was this is way too early to be turning on my air conditioner. But it was also 89 in the house, and so I'm like, nope, screw this. AC's gone. I'm not going to be uncomfortable in my own house, so the AC got kicked on. And right now, as we stand, the heater's on.
Yeah, the furnace is back on. Same way. Yeah, we cranked our furnace back on last night. My wife and I kind of looked at each other and said, do we do it?
It was cold.
It was cold.
It was like 55 degrees in my house. I'm like, I'm turning on the heater.
So, yeah. One day the air conditioner's on, one day the furnace is on.
Welcome to spring in Nebraska.
Well, same way up in the press box at Duncan.
Yeah.
I had the air conditioner on last week when I was up there for a game.
I had to turn it off.
Yeah, the furnace was on yesterday when we got there. So, all right, it's March. That's what happens in March.
Also, do you sit on the left or the right side of press box 3? Because I'm going to start moving to the left. The vent is on the right side.
Yep.
And it just beats on you the entire game.
Yep.
So I'm moving to the left side.
I made that move a couple of years ago. I thought, why am I sitting on the right? Because this vent
I've always sat on the right. I always sit on the right.
Too. For years and years and years, I sat on the right. And the air conditioner vent during the summer blows on you. I was wearing like a sweatshirt. When it was 95 degrees outside, I always brought a sweatshirt because it was so damn cold in the press box.
It feels great in the summer, but just not constantly
blowing on you.
Blowing on you, exactly. Like the room itself feels very comfortable.
Sit on the left.
Yep. I'm going to have to make them. It's going to be weird broadcasting a game from the left side of a table. I've always set my stuff up on the left side and broadcasted from the right. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
You'll survive. You'll survive. Tomorrow we're going to have Tim Stroman from Adams Central, the head baseball coach for the Patriots. He'll be on with us. The Patriots ranked number 3 this week in Class C. They've got a tough game with St. Paul Palmer coming up on Thursday, so we'll take a look at that and discuss the start for the Patriots, and I'll be on the show tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to have our Blazing Five, the Chiefs Challenge. We kind of changed the rules today because we don't have a lot of lower seeds that are going to maybe make a run against the upper seeds in the Sweet 16. So we'll be going like we did in the football season against the spread on the Thursday. And of course, on Friday, we'll talk horse racing with Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. So more is coming up this week. Busy week. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can go to our podcast section, download the podcast, go to our social media sites. You'll find that. Make plans to be here again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock for a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.
If you're looking for a real long shot to win the East, 45-1. But again, this is not the same.